everybody, welcome back to another episode of Big D and Liam's Custom Garage. I'm Big D.
I'm Liam.
Today, what we are doing, we are sitting in the office and we are going to go through a bunch of photos of past projects and going to talk about them for today's video. So you guys will get a little bit of a history past of some of my cars and motors I've built and stuff like that. So, okay. So this one is, okay, I built this motor back in 2005. It's a 383 stroker I built for a customer of mine back when I still lived in Northern California. I was basically working out of my garage and people would come to me and I would build motors for them. So yeah, that was a 383 stroker. There's a front view of it. I can't remember what size cam I had in that one, but it has a Holley 750 double pumper on it, a Edelbrock carb.
Quick question: what's this blue?
The blue and purple motor next to it is a Ford.
Yeah, I can tell by.
It's a Ford 460 that came out of a Ranger F-150 highboy that my ex had, and I was gonna build the motor for her, and she really liked purple, so she wanted me to put. Basically, I ended up putting a Mopar purple on a Ford motor.
That's just weird.
But, yeah. There's another angle of it. Sorry about how nasty, disgusting my garage was back then. It was a lot cleaner by the time I moved out of that place. But, yeah. Still same motor again. Didn't do nothing fancy with the distributor. It was basically just a stock HEI distributor in there. The customer was going to put something else in it. I basically just used the distributor to plug up the frickin' hole to keep crap from falling in it.
Might as well.
But, yeah. That motor is
completely different.
Yeah, that's a different motor. This motor here is a 355. That I built. It had a 488 lift cam in it. Can't remember the duration. It was just a 350.
A little better distributor on this one. A little better everything.
Yeah, it just the 355 Mallory HEI distributor, Edelbrock Performer intake. The carburetor was a Edelbrock 650 or 600. Some basic headers. It was a full build. It was another customer build. We put that motor in a it was 71. Yeah, a 71 short bed C10. It was pretty decent for, it was a daily.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty.
Yeah, it was pretty much a daily, but it got the job done. Okay, this motor, this was the last motor I built in California. This motor I built for a customer. It went in a 70 Camaro. Yeah, it was a 70 Camaro. This is another 355, but this one was a little bit more stout in the valve train area. The cam was well in the mid to upper 500 lift cam range. It had a pretty radical cam in it. Went with a standard double roller timing chain in that one. I didn't go gear drive. My personal motors, I go gear drive, but customer motors, I go with with what they want. He wanted a double roller timing chain, so that's what he got.
Yeah, gear drives can be a little loud.
Yeah. The heads, really nothing special. They got larger valves, but there wasn't no port and polish it or anything like that going on with that motor. And by the way, this motor was built in 2008. I was thinking 2007, but no. That motor was built in 2008. Again, nothing special. That's your bottom end there. There's your freshly bored cylinder walls, your 30 over stamped on the top pistons. They were flat tops. Yeah.
And minor valve relief.
Yeah. Again, this one was basically slash show car slash take it to the track every once in a while and beat on it a little bit, but it was primarily a show car.
Something with a little power, but reliable.
Well, it was basically, okay, build me a 355 so I have some power and it's reliable and make it look good. But put a over ridiculously sized cam in it for this particular build of motor. Because when I go into a car show, it's all freaking open like crazy and people think that the motor is actually more than what it is.
Exactly.
See how nice and clean the orange paint job is on it.
Yeah.
You know.
Little overspray here and there, but nothing major.
Well, the intake manifold and stuff covers all that up. See, it's got a Edelbrock Performer air gap. Actually, wait, no, I take that back. No, I take that back. That is a
Victor?
No, wait.
Victor air gap? I think it.
Hold on. Can you zoom in on the picture?
Yeah. Give me a second. RPM. Performer RPM. Okay.
Performer RPM air gap intake manifold.
There we go.
Had just a regular.
Those are talls, huh?
Yeah, it has tall, not shorts.
With that cam, you'd have to.
Well, yeah, but it had tall valve covers on it. Another Edelbrock 600 carb, and again another Mallory HEI distributor. Basic headers. I mean, yeah, the thing sounded wicked.
Oh, we switched gears there. Okay.
Okay. This was my 79 short bed K10.
Well, for a while it was mine.
Well, we'll get to that
We'll
part.
get to that, yeah.
But first, it was mine. I bought this truck off the original owner. So it was a one-owner truck. It was a special order truck from the factory. In 79, you could not get off the showroom floor 4x4s anymore with manual locking front hubs. By that time, they were already like sealed or whatever. So he didn't want it like that. So he ordered it with an axle with manual locking hubs. It's a Dana 44 in the front because he ordered it that way. Dana 60 in the back. It had limited slip in the front, full posi or limited slip in the back. came factory. Get this, and you can see it in the picture. That winch is a lay down flat, like almost like a car rim, barrel style winch that came from the factory that the owner ordered it that way with.
Wow.
Also came factory with dual exhaust on it because he ordered it that way.
Jeez.
It was a special order truck.
Wow.
So, and then I went and chopped it up and put a hood scoop on it with a homemade,
As you do.
with a homemade snorkel. This was done in Hollister, California at Hollister Hills Off-Road Park. If you've never heard of it and you live in Northern California and you like going off-roading, this is the place to go. Liam can freaking tell you, he went with me. That is why that truck turned into that.
This was my image of the truck.
I had decided I wanted to sell the truck, and after Liam's visit, he came out and I took him to Hollister. Actually, in that previous picture,
Yeah, that's me taking the picture, and that's
yeah,
you.
that was our trip to Hollister.
That's you flipping me off right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he fell in love with the truck, and I told him I was going to sell it, and he said, "No, don't. I want it." So this is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
So
Oops.
go back. So from the factory, it already had a 4-inch lift on it because the guy ordered it that way, and the factory size tires he had on it were already 33s. 33 by 12 and a half. It had some wide tires on it.
I had these put on.
Yes. So we decided we wanted to go taller. We went with 35s. So we got 35 by 12 and a half. And for clearance, get this. It had some aftermarket, like fender flare type things on it.
Yeah.
I used those on the top side for a body line. So I marked it with a Sharpie.
Mm-hmm.
And then I took those off, and it gave me exactly 3 inches extra clearance. And I used that line, and I cut it with my cutoff wheel and my Sawzall. And if you look, the body lines are real clean, and they actually look factory, but they're not. They're up 3 inches from factory.
Well, it's not a very good picture, but yeah,
And
it's pretty good.
It gave us the extra clearance we needed for the 35s. Liam also wanted it blacked out, so that's why the whole thing was blacked out. Took in this picture,
As I do everything.
yes. In this picture, I took the bench seat out, and I put racing buckets in on adjustable tracks, and mounted G-Force 5-point harnesses in it. There's another picture of it. That one's actually a better picture.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the motor. The motor was basically it was a 350 bone stock. I put a 465 lift cam in it for a little bit extra low end torque. Changed the intake manifold, changed the carburetor, put the carburetor again, Edelbrock 600. Living in California, as you can see, those headers have smog tubes on them. Okay, California has emissions laws. So this truck had to be required to pass emissions. So it has smog tubes on the headers. The carburetor and the intake are smog legal because they're set up for an EGR valve. So
Standard performer.
yeah, basically a standard performer intake. Your standard performer 600 Edelbrock carb with an electric choke. It had the Mallory billet
Pretty much-
aluminum.
Yeah, pretty much what I had on my own.
Yeah, it was basically okay.
Oh,
Now
This is
They-
old picture.
woo, Ooh, man, this
Go on.
is aging me a little bit. This picture is 1997. This was the last car I built for myself. Okay? Everything since then until now has all been for customers. This car took me 2.5 years to get completed because I was living in an apartment complex. I had nowhere to work on it. I couldn't build the motor myself. Again, had nowhere to work on it. So I had the machine shop that did the machine work for me assemble the motor for me. It was a 383 stroker. It had Chevy Vortec heads on it.
Right, that's when the Vortex like first came out.
Yeah, when
too.
the Vortec heads really, really were popular in the mid 90s.
Yeah.
Because they were cast iron and they were $500 for the pair, but they flowed like an aftermarket, any aftermarket freaking head. Edelbrock, Dart, whatever. Their flow rates matched, and you can get them for half the price. So I had those heads on there. I had a Edelbrock Performer intake on it only because that was the only aftermarket intake that worked with the Vortec heads at the time because they were so new. Nobody was making any aftermarket heads for them yet. I mean, any aftermarket intakes for them yet except for Edelbrock. I had a Holley 750 double pumper carb on it. Needed a 1-inch spacer, but I never put one on it. So I never got the bugs worked out of it. The whole time I had it, I never realized that my back secondaries on the carburetor never opened up, because when you put a Holley carburetor on an Edelbrock intake manifold, you have to run a 1-inch spacer plate because the opening in the intake manifold is different than the butterfly spacing and size on the bottom of the Holley carburetor. So when the back secondaries would go to open, since they're bigger butterflies, they would go to flap open and they would get stuck on the intake manifold and wouldn't open up all the way. So basically, I was running that car on a 2-barrel.
2-barrel, half of the 2.4-barrel or the 3.4.
Which makes it even scarier because I have people that can freaking witness that, testify to this. That car, when I got it done, I stabbed it on the street in front of my work, and it lifted and carried the front tires 2 inches off the ground. And that was off 2 barrels, people. If that thing would have been running off 4-barrel, yeah. I kept the factory wheels and tires on it. I mean, yeah, the exhaust kind of gave it away because it had a pretty radical cam in it. I couldn't tell you what size it is now. I forgot. But
It was somewhere in the high 4s.
it was, I think it was like a 488 or a, no,
Yeah.
No, I had a 510 in that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
I had a
shit.
510 in that one.
That'll do it.
So the exhaust elope gave that one away. Anyway, okay, as you can tell,
Let's move to the next picture. This one had a crappy.
yeah,
There we go.
there we go. Okay,
The first one was
and look,
crappy
there's the back end of the
truck.
before I
Yeah.
painted it and gave it to and sold it to Liam. As you can tell, we're kind of into El Caminos a little bit.
This is
This is
his El Camino.
This was my El Camino.
It's California El Camino.
2004, 2005-ish.
Was it an 81?
No, mine was a
It was
year
79.
older.
So it was a 79. That's right.
Yes,
I
mine
get
was
that
a
mixed up.
79. Well, the one outside's now mine, but at the time it was Liam's.
Yeah.
But mine was a 79. Of course, I decided I was gonna try the low thing. So it had 13-inch spokes on it with knockoffs. Um, the motor, we'll get to that in a minute. Liam can go ahead and go to the next photo. There's the front end, as you can see.
Single headlights, just like the 80.
Yeah, just like the 80.
I think they changed in 82. They went to dual headlights.
82 or 83.
Yeah, I think it's 82.
Really, the only difference between me and Liam's was the grill
And there's no
and the
hood
emblem.
Hood
Yeah,
ornament.
yeah, the hood
Mine
ornament.
has a hood ornament. His doesn't.
Yeah. Okay, there's mine after
The paint.
all my hard work of it's bringing back so many memories. So much hard work. I put so much time and work into that body. Go back, because I'm still talking about the paint.
Okay, sorry.
You got
Go ahead. I thought there was more pictures.
No, you got ahead of me. Yeah, I worked my ass off on that body, sanding it and getting it frickin' same as flawless. That was a lot, months of work of sanding that thing by hand, putting on guide coats to make sure I didn't have any high and low spots in it, and then had it painted. I didn't have nowhere to paint it at the time, so I had it painted. This was right after this actually was the day I got it back from paint, and I had just gotten done putting all the stuff back on it. Notice there's no bed trim. The bed trim was really dinged up, so I couldn't reuse it. But I wanted it to look like it had hydros on it, and at the time the A-arms and the shocks were kind of wore out on it. They needed new bushings and stuff, so they were kind of loose. So I took my floor jack and I jacked up the front of my car under the one corner, and then took the jack handle off, and then squatted like that to block the jack so it looks like it has hydros on it and it's parked in three-wheel motion. Which I have to say, it is kind of convincing. It does kind of look like
Except for you're not like holding a switch or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it is kind of convincing. But yeah, it didn't have hydros on it. I was trying to psych people out. Okay, this is the motor that was in it. Basically, it was a 355 HO. Really, the only difference between the standard 355 and the 355 HO is literally the valve train. The 350 HO is a full roller valve train, roller cam, roller lifters, roller rockers. The stock HO is your standard flat tappet cam, flat tappet lifters, standard rockers, blah, blah, blah. But what I did with this motor, because roller stuff is so fucking expensive and I wanted a bigger cam in it, I put a flat tappet cam in it. I took the whole entire roller system out of it, put a flat tappet cam in it, had to put different push rods in it. Can't remember if they were longer or shorter, but I had to put different push rods in it. Stock regular rocker arms. For a 355, for a 305, I put a 465 lift cam in it for a which normally would be more ideal for a 350.
Yeah.
And because of the displacement being smaller and putting a 465 lift cam in it, that thing whooped like crazy. It sounded nasty. Like really, really nasty.
Wow.
Like people thought it was built, and I'm like, no, it's not. It's just, yeah, the displacement compared to the cam. All right, this here, same house. I know, guys, the house looks different. This was obviously before the prior cars that we just showed you. And also before I basically redid the whole house. This is, what was it, a 58? Yeah, a 58 Dodge Power Wagon. I got given to me by a good friend / neighbor around the corner in California at the time. He knew that I worked on cars, and he needed his house painted, and I had told him that back in the day growing up in Kansas City, I painted houses for a while. And he goes, would you be interested in the Dodge Power Wagon? I said, I'm not really a Dodge guy, but...
As you know, most of our vehicles are Chevys.
But I'm like,
Except for Miata.
hey, if I can flip it and make some money off of it, why not? So we agreed to do an even trade. I would paint the outside of his house, and he would give me the Power Wagon. Now, let me tell you guys, it didn't look like that when I got it. Okay?
This is finished product.
It didn't have stacks on it. It wasn't painted black and white. It was actually like a funky olive green. Okay, you can actually see the back of the cab in this picture between the stacks and stuff.
Right there.
I had not painted the back of the cab yet.
Mm.
So, what you see on the back of the cab right there where it's kind of faded and there's some green olive color kind of in the middle,
right there.
That's basically what the whole outside of the cab looked like when I got it. It had no stacks on it. It had no bed on it.
You can see that. You can see the exhaust.
Yes. The stacks came from Summit Racing, and they're actually side pipes for like Camaros, Chevelles, stuff like that.
That's inventive.
And I turned them upwards
good,
and
actually.
used them as damn stacks. I'm an ex-truck driver, so I kind of have a thing for stuff like that. So at the time, I was like, this thing would look sick with stacks on it. Now, you guys also will notice, hey, why is the back end of that Power Wagon look so freaking long?
Mm.
Well, the guy I got it from extended the back of the frame and put a trailer hitch on it. If Liam can highlight that with the cursor. He extended the back of the frame by 2.5 feet.
Whew.
So it had a 10-foot bed on it.
You put so many dead bodies back there.
Okay. I had a flip down tailgate. Got the wood for free from my neighbor because he owned a fencing company.
Oh, there you
And that's all that rubber type
go. Oh, so it's like,
decking wood that will never rot.
oh, that's cool.
The truck is 4-wheel drive. The really cool thing is about this truck, I'm going to have Liam go ahead and scroll forward. Okay, here's the other side. There it is. During kind of the painting process, you can see the top of the cab is all that drab olive color. I think I had already painted the grill.
That bumper's a little.
Yeah, that's what I did. I painted the grill, and I did a test paint on the hood to see how it looked before I continued the painting of the rest of the truck. That's what I did in that picture. There's the back. Yeah. Okay. I did the whole inside. The seat was reupholstered by, my friend had it reupholstered before he gave me the truck. He also made the door panels. I painted the inside, did the carpet. It was a twin stick transfer case. The other cool thing about this was it was an automatic twin stick transfer case. But my friend that I got this truck from did some interesting conversions. This truck originally came with a flathead inline 8-cylinder. Okay? He blew that up.
Oh. Such a big, so much weight. Yeah.
He had built and put in a 440 big block and a push button.
There we go.
There you go. There's the 440. Okay. We put the 440, he had a 440 put in it, and it has the push button automatic trans in it. Now, the only bad thing is the push button, Chrysler push button trans are all cable driven. Each button has a cable.
Yeesh.
They were never adjusted, so the truck never shifted right, and I called every freaking transmission shop in my area.
Nobody would touch it.
Nobody knew what the hell a Chrysler push button trans was. They thought I was from another planet.
Well, the 50s.
Yeah, I could, I needed to find an old timer that knew his shit and how to adjust them. Also needed somebody that can do brakes, and I could get, well, not necessarily could do brakes, but I could get the brake parts from.
Yeah.
Because the brake cylinders on the back were blew out, and you could call every damn part store in the world.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, I got a 58 Power Wagon and 4-wheel drive. I'm looking for some brake cylinders for the back.
You start looking for junkyards
Yeah.
that have been around since the 50s. You should be all right.
Yeah, they're like, what? We don't keep anything like that old in our inventory. And I'm like, okay, screw it. I put it up for sale. Believe it or not, a family, an older couple came by, and they were getting ready. You could not make this shit up. They were getting ready to move to Idaho to become Idaho potato farmers.
Of course, as you do.
Okay, I swear to God, not making this shit up. They wanted it because of the unique long bed. They wanted it to use as their ranch truck.
They like finding, well, you probably find parts better.
You know how much I sold that for a ranch truck?
Hmm.
I got $3,000 for that truck. For a fucking farm truck. You're gonna use it for a farm truck.
I'll never get into the motorcycles.
Okay, now we're getting into my bikes. Okay,
At least one of them.
at least one of them. The last one I had in California. This was my 2001 883 Sportster. Go back.
That's proof. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Listen.
Okay. We had the drag bars on it. Of course, at the time, you could tell by looking at the mirrors, who was big and popular back then, West Coast Choppers and Jesse James.
Yeah.
So, of course, I had the Celtic Cross, Jesse James, mirrors on it. The pipes were inch and quarter Samson Ripsaw straight pipes. That thing sounded so fucking wicked. It had Excel ignition system on it. If Will can highlight it right underneath the gas tank, that yellow, that is the Excel ignition coil. It had Excel 8.8 millimeter wires on it and Excel spark plugs. That was basically it. Oh, it had a K&N filter in it. Want to point this out to you guys. A little tech tip. If you have an older Sportster like this and it has that style cover on it still, and you're running the K&N filter and you're really not noticing any of a difference in power, that's because those covers are so fucking restrictive, it's not even funny. So, if Liam can highlight the front, what is that, the front edge lip flat spot, whatever. The flat spot on the front that rolls down and then goes under on the bottom like that where Liam's running the cursor. You take the cover off and you take a drill and a drill bit and you just start drilling a bunch of holes. Basically, you're perforating that thing. It's going to look like a damn pasta strainer when you get done. You're going to do it on that front edge on the bottom, and you're going to do the full bottom. Okay? Then you're going to go on the back side, and of course, since you just drilled a bunch of holes, there's going to be a bunch of burrs. You don't want that shit getting in the air filter in your motor. So you're going to take some sandpaper or a die grinder or whatever you got, clean all them burrs off that back side. Then put that cover back on there, start that bitch up and take it for a ride, and you're instantly going to notice a difference. You instantly got the performance of an open cone style element air filter for fucking free.
Wow. All right.
That's
there you go.
why, see, Harley knew that it was a problem. Customers bitched about it for years and years and years. You look at the new Harleys now when you go in on the showroom floor and you want to buy a new one. Yeah, the air filter assembly still looks similar, but they've added an air scoop on the bottom side where I just told you to drill all them damn holes at.
Yeah, it's pretty much just open.
Yeah, so it has a little air scoop on it now that just,
Yeah.
yeah. So they knew that it was a malfunction. Yes, look at my sexy ass. This was in 2000. These pictures were taken in 2007, by the way.
Looks like it was taken in the 70s, maybe. But.
Yeah, I had the little handlebar porn stash going on. There she is again. This was right after I put the...
I need to give me one of these at some point.
They're fun.
Yeah.
You know, they used to have a bad rap as, oh, Sportsters are chick bikes. Sportsters are chick bikes. No, they're not.
Yeah. Well, if you do some...
If you like a bike that will corner like a sport bike, but have the sound, the look, and stuff of a Harley,
Yeah.
the Sportster is the way you want to go. Okay? Because Sportsters fucking stick.
Mm.
They
There you go.
corner.
Wait, is this the same bike?
Same bike. Okay, this was literally the same day I just put her back together. This shows off my painting skills. Okay, that's Candy Apple Red. I did all the body work. Everything was stripped down to bare metal, guide coated, primered, literally wet sanded every level of primer, paint, clear coat, and then color match buffed,
Shit.
whole 9 yards. That's why that paint looks like a freaking mirror when the sun's bouncing off of it. I'm good at body work and I can paint my ass off. Do I like doing it? No. I'm a motor guy. I like doing motor shit. But when it comes to my personal stuff, if I have the space and the equipment and the time to do it, then yeah, I'm going to do my own body work, my own paint work, and stuff like that. That's what I'm doing on Project Dark Sin. I'm going to be doing the body work and the paint work on that car myself. And at the same time teaching Liam how to do it. Not that he don't know how, but...
I'm going for a vinyl wrap, but thank you.
Well, yes. But it still doesn't hurt to, you know... This picture, I loved this picture. Just the way the sun was coming through the trees at that point in time. The way it just looked in the camera, just amazing.
I could do it without the bar in the back, but that's my personal
Well,
preference.
Yeah. And surprisingly enough, I had that sissy bar on the back of that bike, and nobody's ass ever got on the back of it. Not once. Okay.
This is
This is Project Dark Sin, guys.
when it was mine.
When it was still Liam's, when it was still a daily driver. This was in early summer, springish, 2002.
Yeah.
Okay. This was when,
It was like right after I first got it, pretty much.
well, you got it in 97,
Yeah.
96,
When
97.
we just moved into
But-
that house.
But yeah, this was when me and
I
Liam.
even had dice.
Yep, had dice on the windshield, on the mirror.
Oh, I had no idea what it was.
It was his daily then. This was right before we were getting ready to leave to go up to the car cruise in, like we did every weekend. It's all, waxed and buffed up. The chrome's popping. The paint looks awesome. Wheels look amazing. Motor, yeah.
It
I
worked.
did-
It worked.
It worked.
It ran.
For some reason, I didn't do a detail that day on the motor. Normally, when we went up to the car cruise-ins, I had that motor just frickin' gleaming. I would take tire shine on a rag. Liam will tell you, I'd take tire shine on the rag and I'd go over all the rubber hoses
Yeah.
with it and everything. So everything was all shiny. The chrome would look good and everything.
We actually had the air conditioning in too.
Yeah, he still had the air conditioning on it. Same motor that I just tore down for you guys that we're building
Yeah.
and putting the twin turbos on. It's just back then that's what it looked like when it was still the daily.
Yeah. Now it's all empty.
Yeah,
Very empty.
yeah.
That's in the
That-
garage with
that-
all the extra parts in the back.
Okay, now
Let's
we
zoom
jumped
in.
forward. We jumped forward a little bit. This
Very bad picture.
These pictures are 2009 when when we did stage 1
Yeah.
with the motor. When I repainted the motor black and red, when I put the cam in it, when I put the distributor in it, and Liam did the wiring. So yeah, these
Oh, I
are
didn't know I could do
these
that.
are 2009. Of course, like you guys know, it was never completed. That's why I'm still working on it. Since it was garage kept then, look at how clean the rear end is.
Yeah.
The diff looked like it was just put on.
Still has the gas tank in it.
Yeah, it still had the factory gas tank in it. It had the fuel cell in it also. The gas tank just had never been removed. Of course, it's been removed now, but then it still had it in it.
Yeah, there's the fuel cell.
There's the fuel cell. Look, the fuel lines ain't even sun faded yet, because again, it was garage kept then. Stock motor before I tore it down. Had the Edelbrock intake, Edelbrock carb.
Well, we were trying to get the electric fuel pump to work.
Yeah, that's why that bucket's there. We were
Yeah.
trying to test the electric fuel pump in it.
That's when we
There's-
started changing the cam.
Yeah, there's the motor tore down, so I can change the cam and stuff in it. Also, so I could clean up and
As you can see,
repaint.
there's a lot of stuff missing from the inside of the engine compartment.
Yeah,
too.
because I also was getting it ready for cleanup and repaint.
And rewiring.
Yeah, when you see the next couple pictures.
Actually, I think the new wiring harness.
Yeah,
is
the
like-
wiring's already there. That's why it's rolled up. Okay, well there we go. Now you guys see, when we started doing the videos, the motor was dirty and dusty, and the engine compartment was the same way from sitting. This was literally right after it was done, so you're getting like
Yeah.
fresh paint and everything's still shiny and brand new. So there you go. Check that out. That's
the look I wanted.
yeah. See how good it looked at right after it was all done.
Yeah.
All that red and the black, it looked amazing. But again, it never got finished, but it's going to now.
Yeah.
But yeah, we wanted to show you guys these photos because, yeah.
Yeah. I ran out of money, and
Yeah, we moved it over here to his house because him and his wife had just
yeah,
bought their house.
life got in the way. I got stuck. I got less interested in the actual vehicle.
Yeah, he kind of changed directions.
I changed preferences.
Preferences. He kind of wanted smaller. I still kind of want the big cars, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Wait, we ain't got no more?
No, that's pretty
it?
much the
That
story.
That was the last. Okay.
That's your story of building cars
Yeah.
and
So,
and motorcycles.
and motorcycles. So, you guys kind of got a history background on me today.
That's probably a very long episode.
Yeah, yeah.
We might trim it down,
We
but
might trim it down some, but even if we don't, guys, it's going to be worth it. You know, some of our videos, we're not going to be able to help it. They might be a little long. It's not going to be often, but sometimes, you know, it's going
and
to happen.
this also gives you a preview of what we're going to be doing on Saturday.
Yes.
Same style, same functionality, switching between photo and
Yeah, it's just the good thing about Saturday is it's going to be a live stream on Twitch, which means if you guys are watching it, you'll be able to ask us questions and we'll be able to answer them live. You know,
and it's not just going to be about cars. We're going to go off topic a lot, probably.
Yeah.
And just
It-
bullshit.
Yeah, it's something new that we're trying. I was thinking about starting a podcast. Liam said that we should try live streaming on Twitch first and see how that goes. And
Yeah.
you know,
We chose Twitch because it has lots more traffic for people looking for live streams. YouTube does live streams, but they don't
yeah,
have that. They don't have that traffic just browsing through.
mm-hmm.
Twitch is mainly live streams. That's what they do. So,
Yeah.
So I thought we'd get a lot more just traffic, just looking for something to watch, just
Yeah.
browsing for actual live streams. So that's why we're gonna do it on Twitch Saturday morning. Not sure on the time, but we'll throw out a time right before. We'll tweet and all kinds of stuff
Yeah.
right before we go
Yeah,
live.
pay attention to all the other social media pages.
That's why that stuff's important.
Yeah,
So
'Cause-
you'll
yeah.
you'll see a few, like 30 minutes before we go live. You'll see a tweet, a Facebook post, a Instagram post. You know.
yeah, saying, hey, we're getting ready to go live on Twitch. This is where you need to be. And yeah, because we're going to be having a set time because Liam is very familiar with Twitch.
Yeah. I have another account that I've live streamed in the past, video games. So
Yes.
I'm a nerd.
Hey, there ain't
A car nerd too.
no, there's no, hey, I'm a gaming nerd too. I haven't really been playing as much the past couple
Yeah, you're more
years.
you're more of a classic gamer.
Yeah, I like the classics. For example, Liam just built me a freaking little game.
A Raspberry Pi.
Yeah, he built me a Raspberry Pi that basically he can put every classic game on there for me he wants. All I gotta do is just tell him which game I want, and he downloads it from his computer. I've got all the Nintendo games, Super Nintendo games.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Anyway, see, got off topic. That's what Saturday's going to be like. We'll be talking about cars in the next minute. Hey, you know this video game? And yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Yeah,
I think that's
so-
pretty much it.
Yeah, so again, Saturday, our first live stream on Twitch. We're not going to be doing a Friday episode this week. Okay, guys? We're going to be making up for that episode Saturday on our live stream.
So check it out.
So check that out, okay? The information for the Twitch page will
Be in the description.
It'll be in the description.
And probably at the end of the video somewhere.
Yeah. But it'll be in the description at the end with all the other stuff. But yeah. So this, of course, has been another episode of Big D and Liam's Garage. I'm Big D. He's Liam. And we will see you guys Saturday on our live stream. You guys have a great day. We're out.